Welcome to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and today is Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. Hey, if you're enjoying this show, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the share button. Share this with your friends. Come on, you've been leaving me some great comments. You've been telling me how much you like it. Let everybody else know how much you like it as well. And of course, you can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Feel free to comment right now. Let me know that you're watching. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now, of course, is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. There you will learn about real estate investing and stock option trading from those who do it every day. So on today's show, we're going to be discussing the market update, no Hertz deal, Biden and methane, okay, you can laugh, Meta facial technology, Avis stock doubles, Netflix mobile games. We're going to be talking about Election Day, because it is Election Day today, and of course, the wrap-up. So let's talk a little bit about the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. First of all, the Dow, wow, up again to another record. It's up 138 points, almost 139 points today. The S&P is up 17 points, and the NASDAQ is up almost 54 points. I'll tell you, I'm shocked. I mean, I'm not shocked that it's up. It's okay, but I'm shocked that we're breaking records every single day, and the market hasn't even pulled back even a little bit during this earnings season. Usually during earnings seasons, you get quite a few good days, and you get a couple of bad days, and you get quite a few good days again. So I'm kind of surprised. I mean, the earnings have been wonderful. They've been great earnings on every single stock so far. Even Apple, with its bad earnings, wasn't even that bad earnings. I actually was surprised that it even dropped a little bit, but of course it's back up today, and we'll talk about that in a little while as well. So I would just tell you, keep on plugging along. But of course, you need to remember, of course, that I believe that coming about 2 weeks, we're going to hit a little bit of a snag based on the fact that we have the debt ceiling vote coming up. We have earnings ending. And of course, we have the whatever trillion now it is. I think it's only $1.7 trillion, Biden booby trap, back better, I don't even know what the heck it's called anymore, event coming up. So we're going to have all that together. So if I were you, I would pay attention to it a little bit. But here you go. All right. So Hertz and Tesla, let's talk about that. So last week I reported that Hertz was buying 100,000 cars from Tesla to add to their rental fleet. Last night, however, Elon Musk tweeted that there was no contract between Hertz and Tesla to provide the cars. Honestly, it's a very strange tweet from Musk, but I gotta tell you, Musk often does this to stir the pot. However, in further tweets, Musk said he will sell the cars, but with no discount to the rental company. So basically, he's saying he's going to ask for the same price to the rental company as Hertz as he would for you and me. Musk stated they will be sold at the same margin as if they were being sold to the retail buyer. If you recall, Tesla stock rose to over 1,000, and it hit $1 trillion market cap, and now it's even sitting comfortably at 1,200 on the news of Hertz buying the cars, and that was the catalyst. So it's kind of weird. And then this morning, Tesla was down about 14 points, while Hertz was actually up about 4 points for a little while. I don't know, it's kind of strange. But I'm going to tell you right now, Tesla numbers always baffle me. I can't understand how this company can have such high valuation. It's almost like Tesla really is like a cryptocurrency. And Hertz is also surprised that it actually filed for bankruptcy last year, if you didn't know that. And now it's back. And it's just amazing what's going on with Hertz and the rental cars. Wait till we talk about Avis in a little while. All right, so let's talk about Biden and methane. I'm going to tell you right now, there's definitely a joke in there, and I promise to get to it. However, yesterday the U.S. announced a broad expansion and strengthening of rules to limit methane emissions from oil and natural gas harvesting. These rules require what the EPA calls a comprehensive monitoring program to require companies to find and fix leaks in its operations, such as wells, pipes, and storage tanks. It includes provisions to encourage the use of new technology, such as drones, for more effective monitoring. I'm actually surprised that they have to actually legislate this? I mean, if you're a company and you have a gas company and you have leaks, wouldn't you want to fix them? I mean, forget about the EPA side. Wouldn't you want to fix them just to save the profit? I don't know. So there's something odd about that. But hey, who knows? It also would prohibit venting off gas at oil wells, which producers sometimes do when the oil is much more valuable than the gas. The agency would require producers to put that gas in a pipeline to be sold when possible to keep natural gas from being wasted. Again, I don't get that. I would actually think that the companies would want to do that, but who knows? In 2030 alone, that would save $690 million worth of gas that might otherwise be wasted, the EPA said. Of course, methane is a big issue. Yep, methane. You know, from cow farts. No, seriously, 1/3 of the world's methane pollution comes from cow farts. For real, look it up. I'm totally serious. It's totally true. Here you go. Ready for this? Another 1/3 of methane comes from decomposing matter, such as swamps with rotting vegetation. Of course, the last 1/3 comes from Biden pooping in his pants when he shakes hands with important famous people. I told you I would get to a joke about Biden and methane, but that one was just too easy. But seriously, the last 1/3 actually comes from the oil and gas industry. Apparently, some scientist has convinced the leaders of multiple countries that if you reduce methane formed naturally, you will keep the planet from overheating. Remember that 2/3 of methane occur naturally. I wonder if those are the same scientists who suggest you wear a mask and get an experimental vaccine. All right. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Meta and facial recognition. This is an interesting piece of information. Facebook, of course, now Meta, is shutting down its facial recognition software program and deleting the data on millions of faces that is collected over the years. You must be aware of this technology. You know, the one where you are tagged in a photo because Facebook recognizes you. The company announced that this change will impact more than 1/3 of Facebook daily active users who have opted into the use of the technology, which is more than 600 million accounts. Overall, Facebook said it would delete more than 1 billion people's individual facial recognition templates. But what about this mug? I mean, come on, this mug's great. Don't delete mine. Since this is breaking news, I'm wondering what's causing it. Is it going to be the new Facebook scandal as they change to the metaverse? I do admit, when I first thought the technology was kind of creepy, but as time went by, I thought it was pretty convenient, especially when sharing photos with people in those photos. Hey, I'm missing from the screen. My face is gone. Oh, you see that? Look at that. I told you, they already deleted me. It didn't start, did it? Are we on? Are we on the air? Are we on the air? All right, anyway, but you look what happened. Facebook already deleted me. It's amazing. Anyway, I thought it was kind of creepy. But anyway, let's do this. We're gonna go to a commercial so we can fix the Facebook destroying me again.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start. Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rock star real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Investor Schooling needs a new slogan.
Investor Schooling? Never heard of.
Investor Schooling?
Never heard of.
Investor Schooling? Never heard of them.
Any suggestions? Phil?
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either.
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling? Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling?
Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I think we fixed our problem, but I got to tell you, we were talking a little bit about the Facebook recognition, and of course what happens is, as soon as we start talking about it, my face goes out. I thought that was hysterical, right? But anyway, I guess the spies are getting nervous, but of course don't be fooled by this. They still have the technology. It just won't be available for a limited application of tagging our friends. It'll only be available to find conservative Republicans at school board meetings chanting "My kid's life matters" instead of Anyway, Facebook stock started a downturn in the news, which actually surprised me as well. I don't think it really mattered, but I'm sure the money managers are waiting for the other shoe to drop. Hey, I wonder if the facial recognition technology can be used to identify shoes or clothes, or maybe it can help me find my sock that got lost in the wash load yesterday. Anyway, all right, let's talk a little bit about Avis stock doubling. Some of those jokes would have been funnier if we didn't get cut off, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? So this is a rare event when a stock trading this high doubles, but car rental stock Avis budget surged Tuesday after the company reported a stronger than expected third quarter that sparked massive trading volume. The company reported $10.74 per share earnings for the third quarter, beating a consensus estimate by more than $4. Revenue also topped expectations. Avis Budget Board also authorized a $1 billion share buyback. The stock went from 174 to its high as 545 to settle at about double the opening price at about $330. That's insane. By the way, this was another shorting of the stock situation that triggered massive buys to get the holders of the short positions out of those positions before they lost everything. This is very similar. It might even be caused by the same Reddit traders that manipulated GameStop and AMC earlier this year. What a ride. Wow, man. Anyway, I would say it's over and you missed it, so forget it. But I really want to know when CCL and AAL are going to do this. I need them both to double. Come on, boxcars. Daddy needs a new pair of Corvettes. All right. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about. So we've been talking about, as you know, we've been talking a little bit about the market update. We've been talking about the fact that the Dow is up 138 points. We've been talking about the S&P being up 16 or 17 points already, and the NASDAQ up 53. We talked about no Hertz deal, and of course we talked about Biden and his methane. And we also talked about just now, we talked about the fact that Avis stock doubled. Let's talk a little bit about Netflix and their mobile game apps. So Netflix started rolling out its mobile game technology today, which is fantastic, pushing the streaming giant into a new business as it looks for additional ways to gain and keep subscribers. Anybody remember having an old Netflix account where you used to get the discs and then you used to send them out? It's amazing, right? So subscribers have had the option of playing 5 different games on the app, including Stranger Things 1984, Stranger Things 3, the game, Shooting Hoops, Card Blast, and Teeter Up. The games will first launch for Android phones before they come to iPhones. The games are available in the Netflix app. They will also be selling the games separately in the future on the App Store and the Google Play Store. So did anybody notice that one of these games is called Stranger Things 1984? So it's all about stuff that goes on in 1984, not the book 1984, but of course the 1984, what we all lived in, anyway, people of my age. So the weird part though is 1984, how did they actually come up with that using that exact year? I mean, it's amazing to me. All right, let's talk a little bit about, my favorite day of the year, Election Day. Yes, folks, it's Election Day. Otherwise known as Democrat Appointment Day. Elections, really? Pfft. When I first voted, when I was 18 for the first time, I remember the big bulky machine that I walked into. I closed the curtain and pulled levers with the name of the candidate you wanted to vote for. It's kind of neat, actually. A few years ago, this machine kind of got a digital upgrade, and although I didn't fully trust it as much as the other machine, it was still private and I still felt good about voting. What the hell happened to us? We now have a piece of paper that we put through a scanner? Seriously? We actually went down in technology? This is the technology that we use? Wow. Add to the fact that you can also mail in your vote without any question or ID, and that makes cheating so easy that it almost begs people to cheat just to see if they can get away with it. And get away with it, of course, they do. Have you actually ever heard of anyone going to jail for voter fraud? No, I don't think so. In fact, for the few people who actually get caught, they don't even remove the votes from the system. It's amazing. This thing they call voting is the same kind of virtue signaling that is wearing a mask. Just wait, you'll see every top and important race such as New Jersey and Virginia go to the Democrat candidates in spite of all the bad publicity they've had. Come on, Murphy in New Jersey, like Wolf in PA, actually sent thousands of people to death by putting older COVID patients into nursing homes instead of hospitals. These guys should be tried for murder, but of course that won't happen. Instead, they're going to be re-voted. Anyway, getting back to today, November 2nd, have a happy Democrat appointment day as the Democrats cheat and appoint their connected puppets into office. As for me, I just studied the new tax and then studied the new tax loophole to avoid having these clowns take more money from me to feed their idiotic plans to save the world by shutting it down. All right, I'm going to skip the next commercial because we kind of had to already, didn't we? So let's get back. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here in the market. And by the way, have you hit the share button yet? Come on, Ken, I see you watching. Did you hit the share button yet? Share me with your friends, hit the like button, and let me know you enjoy the show. Of course, if you're also watching, why don't you put down in your comments who you voted for or who you want to vote for, so we can actually see that in the comments, and we can compare that to what your actual vote was, because I'll bet you have no idea what your vote was. All right, so we've had some notable earnings today. Of course, Pfizer beat earnings on vaccine sales. I wonder who could have bought all those vaccines. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, so many vaccines they sold. That's pretty amazing. Anyway, the stock is up about 5% today. The oil stocks like Conoco and BP also beat earnings. Conoco rose slightly and then dropped. BP was lower today, but not to worry. The oil stocks are going to pop as President Poopy Pants continues to destroy the ability for oil companies to find oil here in the United States and build our dependency on foreign markets for oil and gas. You know, I got to tell you one thing that's pretty interesting about this. I gave this some thought, and here's the thought that I gave. I realized that we might actually be the last country left with oil. Because if we have to go everywhere else to get oil, and we're not allowed to tap the oil here anymore, we might actually be the last country with oil. So 100, 200 years from now, when the whole world, when all the electric batteries don't work anymore and nothing works, they might actually start to dig here. But hey, I don't think Poopy Pants has that in his thought. Anyway, maybe Build Back Better could be a name for a new fertilizer, by the way, made with Joe's Poopy Pants. Actually, I think I'm going to go buy the website right now, joespoopypants.com. Don't beat me to it. I need 5 minutes. joespoopypants.com. And I think I'm going to sell, poopy pants. Anyway, on the crypto scene, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Bitcoin. It hit about 63,500, and Ethereum is in record territory again as it's over 4,500. My two favorite, once again, Shiba and Doge. Shiba's running around 67 millionth of a cent, and also Doge is around 27 cents right now. And we'll see what happens. I'm still waiting to see Shiba go back into the 50 millionth of a cent range, and then I'm going to buy it back. I was actually looking at Shiba. Now, I don't know how long you really could have bought it, but it's up 98 million percent since it came out, which is pretty wild. Anyway, if you've made some money with some of the tips discussed in this show, please leave a comment and let me know. Of course, did you hit the share button yet? Did you hit the like button yet? I see some people making some comments. That's awesome. And of course, as you know, we want to thank you for watching Money Chat Now. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Money Chat Now page. From time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Thank you for watching Money Chat Now. We look forward to your continued support. Have a great weekend, and we will see you here tomorrow at 4:03.